Ooh, so a penalty each ends in a draw, 2-2 the final score in Munich, with the deciding leg still to come in Madrid. What a cracking game that is going to be next week. Thoughts, anybody?
I just thought it was an outstanding game, if I was being totally honest, Kate. I think Thierry wanted to see the tactics of Bayern. I think it was pretty much what he said. I think the tactical changing the wingers to other sides and going more inside really helped. Injection of pace. But Real Madrid find a way to stay in the game. Again, for the first 20 minutes, without the game, it was all Bayern Munich. But in the end, they just managed to do it. And that man, Vinicius Jr., we've talked about Bellingham so many times, we've talked about Rodrigo, but Vinicius Jr. carries this team a long way. What a player he is.
Thierry?
You said it, Micah. I have to say, you talk about Tuchel at the beginning, Jamie, and what he offered tactically in the first half and in the second half. Didn't work in the first half because they just didn't punish them by scoring. They did punish them after that, and what he offered in the second half, you know, we will talk about it after. As you said, Real Madrid finds a way to stay in games, to be in a situation where they were struggling at the beginning of the game. They go 1-0 up, 2-1 down. They don't panic. They don't panic. They know they would have an opportunity, and they had one. And we'll talk about it, Jamie. I know you're going to talk about the way Bayern defended at times.
Yeah, we'll do that later. But when you actually look at the stats here, I mean, Bayern are on top in every metric except the goals. And we said that before the game, you know, and that's why we'll all probably be saying before the next game, they're the favourites to get to the final.
Very warm welcome back, everybody. Good to have you with us here in our studio in London. That's your thing, isn't it, Micah?
Welcome.
Come on in. Welcome into the studio. It's so good to have you still with us. Kate, Thierry, Jamie and Micah. Micah talked about the fact that you were interested in seeing how Bayern would approach the game. What did you make of how they did approach the game? And like Micah said, the tactical change by Thomas Tuchel.
I thought it was brilliant the way they wanted to have the wingers inside, having Sané almost as a 10 position on the left, and on the other side having Musiala as a 10 position on the right, trying to attract them with the fullback and go back straight inside. They cut them at the beginning. They just didn't finish. The position also of Müller, same position he took against Lazio, in between the left centre back and the left back, to make sure that they were not going to come and have an impact on the position of the two tens. And then they switch it in the second half, having the wingers iron wide, Guerrero playing as a 10 inside, to make sure they were going to isolate those guys, but this time in an inverted manner. The lefty on the right player, right-footed player, on the left.
Somebody just told me, sorry, that who was showing whose notebook? Micah, you were showing your notebook?
No, because Thierry gave some really good tactical analysis on
Müller
and his position. So I was just prompting
sorry,
him to
they
speak
saw
about
it on camera, so they were just...
It was like Cruz.
I tell you what...
It was an assist. It was an assist.
So you were helping Thierry with...
This show's come a long way, hasn't it? Micah Richards is telling Thierry Henry about the tactics.
He reminded me something I told him.
Oh, he can't let you do that.
Is that true or false? That was nice. Nice.
I was just saying, he had a really good point for Muller. I just wanted to make sure you remembered
I'm
it
just
on
putting Jamie back to his lane.
Good teammate, Micah.
Who's going to the lane? I'm going to my lane.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The lane. Go back to your lane.
What the lane tomorrow?
I tell you who else needs to go back to their lane.
Oh.
Kim, the defender.
Yep.
For Bayern Munich. The reason Bayern Munich have beat Arsenal is because Arsenal had a defender in the first leg, Kivior, who was not at the level. And he cost them. He cost Arsenal in that first leg. Kim has cost Bayern Munich in this first leg. He really has, because they've been the dominant team, they've been the better team, but they've been let down by a defender at the back. And that's what happened to Arsenal. And Bayern obviously capitalised on that, but Real Madrid look like they will capitalise on this from Bayern Munich.
Penalty for each side between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Was it a fair result, did you think, Micah? Did it reflect the game?
I thought Bayern were the better team in terms of the metrics, like Jamie said, you know, passes, possession, all that sort of thing. But it doesn't matter. Why are you looking at me like that, Jamie?
Everyone is on your case?
No, I know.
No, you said the
He's staying in his
I
lane.
know. I was just laughing at you. It didn't sound... You saying the Mets... It just...
What, it didn't sound right?
No, I don't know. It's just... I don't know. It was my word, wasn't it?
Well, I was just saying that your word. But I think the overall game...
With everyone.
Basically, Bayern overall were probably the better team, but Real Madrid, they dug in and got the draw in the end.
Jamie, anything to add?
The metrics?
No, I agree with Micah. You know, the metrics, the stats, whatever you want to call them. They were in Bayern's favour, weren't they?
Oh my God.
What does it mean in terms of going into the second leg? Because obviously, I think we already generally thought, when you're thinking of the tie across the two legs, you thought of Real Madrid as the favourites. Has anything changed?
No, I think that'll really hurt Bayern Munich tonight, psychologically, because they were the better team and they played really well and they still didn't win at home. And there's this feeling, I think, with Real Madrid, whoever comes up against them, because I've written them off so often. Champions League final against Liverpool, I couldn't see how they'd beat Liverpool, but they beat them. Beating Manchester City in the last round a couple of years ago, beating Manchester City, and you're scratching your head thinking, how's it happened? But they've done it again in terms of getting a result here. And we'll see how the second leg goes, but I think for Bayern Munich to play so well as they did and still not win the game, I mean, I don't know how sort of, psychologically they'll be able to believe they can go to sort of the Bernabeu and get through.
You agree with that, Thierry?
Yeah, but, I mean, we go back to the same thing. I said it the other day. Doesn't matter who ran the most, who had the most chances, who had the most possession. With Madrid, it's about taking your chances. And yes, again, we're going to talk. It's pretty obvious. You don't take your chances. You don't do much with what you have when you're on the ball. And that's up to you. Madrid will. We can take the Leipzig game, and you look at it and you're like, how Seško didn't score 3, how Openda didn't score 3 in Madrid. You take the Man City game, you're like, oh, they didn't touch the ball. Well, they scored 4 goals, though. 3 there and 1. And again today, 2. Yes, you can say if, there's a lot of if at the end of the day. When it comes to Madrid, there's a lot of if all the time. I've been in that situation. You're like, okay, you play against a big team. You have them. You don't. You don't. They execute stuff. That's what they do. That's why you have 14 obviously Champions Leagues.
Well, over there in Munich, Peter Schmeichel and Guillaume Balaguer watched this game live for us at the stadium over there. Let's find out their thoughts. What did you think, gents?
Well, do you know, it's amazing when you watch a game on TV and then you watch it live, how different you see the game. So what I'm hearing here is the studio actually thought Bayern Munich played really, really well. I don't think they did. I think they were very slow in the first half. They made some tactical changes, yes, and it was a little bit better in the second half, but they weren't really threatening anything. And we were sat there talking about, well, they're up against Real Madrid. They will hit them back. And being 2-1 up, they should be a bit disappointed. Defender Kim on the first goal, I don't know what Kim's doing. I don't know why he's giving that penalty away. They could have won, but they didn't play well. Do you think they played well?
Quite clearly, there were periods, 20 minutes in the first half and 15, 20 minutes in the second half, that you were asking Bayern to actually speed things up, and they did. And when they did, they got a result. I find fascinating what happened in the first 20 minutes, in which Real Madrid were like, it doesn't matter, we're inferior, we're conceding goals, we'll have our moment, goal. And in the second half, exactly the same. They go 2-1 down, doesn't matter, we'll have our chances, and then eventually they come. So that's the head.
It's amazing to watch Real Madrid play live in the stadium. There's no panic at any time. The manager, Ancelotti, is just so calm. All the players, they go 1-0, 2-0 down, 2-1 down, sorry. And it's just calm. There's no panic. They just get along with. And you always sit there with a sense of them striking back. And of course they did again today.
And the atmosphere. Oh, just one word for it.
I've been here a lot of times. This is the best I've ever been.
Constant, noisy, affecting the teams, both teams. It was a great spectacle. One of the big
And what's it going to be next week, eh? What a drama.
Well, Peter.
Yes?
Peter, would you like some company tomorrow? And we'll see if the Westfalen Stadium can match Munich.
Do you know what? Are you coming?
I'm coming, yeah.
I'm telling you what you're in for tomorrow, okay?
Go on.
The Yellow Wall singing "You Never Walk Alone."
Well, how about me and you join the Dortmund fans in the Yellow Wall and sing "You'll Never Walk Alone"?
No, I'm never going to sing that song.